Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and next to me, as always, is...
Glen, her husband.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, I didn't say my husband. You're just supposed to know that by now, guys. Because whenever he's not here, everyone's like, where the fuck is he? So I'm sure the messages will be rolling in that Glen is here in the house tonight. Baby, thank you for helping me. I would not have any of this technological equipment surrounding me. I wouldn't have the walls or the roof above me. I wouldn't have anything without you, baby. We're the dream team.
Yeah.
We're going to win tomorrow. We're going to be on a podcast called Make Your Mate Laugh. Where we're going to go against other comedians. One of the comedians that we're going up against is Bonnie Scalisi, my work wife. So things are going to get crazy because me and her are super competitive. And you have to make your mate laugh. It's run by Esther Forrester. That's going to be nothing but fun. If you found the show, please share the show, share the show, share the show. And subscribe to Mandy Jones, the comedian, on YouTube. That's where you'll get the Wildflowers, which is every Wednesday, and you can get the Calamity Jones Hour, which is every Friday. These are live interactive podcasts, so please talk shit to us, and we will try to include you. I think that's with much further ado, right?
You didn't give your March 19th date.
Oh, it's March 19th. This is I didn't look this up. I believe this is the 28th episode of the show. You would have thought it was our first, the way we were doing this Skyping here. But our gentleman,
we got it going.
Our gentleman that we have in the audience is in the studio audience in the studio with us tonight is a gentleman, and he sat with us, and you guys are gonna get to know him just as much as I am, because literally we met in a green room. Thought we were funny, exchanged pleasantries, and you're going to see our relationship unfold. So without much further ado, guys, my friend, and now yours, Mr. No Filter Paul.
Hey guys, what's going on?
I fucked it up because I was supposed to say first that you could have seen him on the Opie and Anthony show, and you might have seen him on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Sirius XM.
You still fucked it up because they're both radio shows, so how do you see me? But anyway, that's a whole nother...
I'm a fucking...
I can't wait until you get a divorce, because that show is going to be so cool. The fucking way you kiss each other's asses on that thing.
Dude, we got tagged as friends on Facebook recently because we are only tagged in 10 pictures together. That's a sign of security, I think. Usually 11 years, you should have like a bunch of like butt kissing tags up there.
Yeah, every year you should have a post.
No.
You know, like you've been married 24 years. You don't write a small eulogy every anniversary, Paul?
Nah, I write one every time I find the gardener trying to fuck my wife.
You have a gardener?
Well, you know, the guy that fucking mows the lawn. Gardener's a bit generous, yeah. I don't have a fucking stately home with fucking 20 lawns and a ride-on lawnmower, you know?
Yeah, the London background is a front, guys. He's in Jersey right now. Don't let him fool you. I wanted to know, Paul, what are some of the differences between that London background that we're looking at and Jersey?
Well, if you look at the London background really carefully, you can see all the Muslims walking back and forth, but that's a whole nother story. But we don't have bridges like this in Jersey for a start. You know, we have shitty bridges. That's not a toll bridge either. Everywhere in America, in New York and New Jersey, is a fucking $800 to cross a toll bridge. They don't want you to leave, right? Once you're in a certain place, that's it. It's cost you $400 to get out of New York, right?
I know, you don't even think about it. Tolls, they're like, oh, $30. Now they don't even have toll booths. They just you get raped as you drive through. They just send you it in the mail. I've
been working from home for like a year, so my Easy Pass bill has been like $40. And then all of a sudden, like 3 months ago, I got a $250 Easy Pass bill. And I'm like, I haven't even left the fucking house. How do I... My daughter's boyfriend took her car and started going to school in North Jersey because I'm on the shore. Thought that I wouldn't notice my Easy Pass bill getting raped.
Seriously, me and Bonnie, the comedian that I do the Wildflowers with on Wednesday, her and I drove to Staten Island. We were calling it a road trip. Long Island to Staten Island, guys. This is changing counties in New York. And We took the long way to fucking Staten Island, dude. We took the fucking Manhattan skyline. Her soon-to-be ex-husband called us, like, I'm turning off the Easy Pass. Like, you're fucking high, right? Like,
Right.
They hit every bridge on the way out.
I went through the Hugh L. Carey tunnel twice.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, I don't know where that is either.
Not on the way to the Staten Island comedy show, I'll tell you that much.
Whenever I go in the city, I go across the Verrazano to Brooklyn because it's free that way. And then I come back the other way and then out of the city the other way so I don't get killed for like, $85 in tolls.
Yeah.
Well, and there's all tolls here, but your guys' roads in Britain are pretty good though, right? Like you guys
yeah. The roads in America are horrible, I was in like Orlando one time working and their toll roads are in pretty good condition. But you drive in New York City's like the worst. You can park your car in a pothole in New York City.
And they'll charge you to get on the road, and that'll be terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say if the Garden State Parkway is like it's not bad. The Turnpike's horrible, but the New Jersey Turnpike is twice as much tolls. So explain that to me. They're getting twice as much money, but they don't fix shit.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's a whole thing there. And isn't there laws against like? You can't just have like beat up fucking cars. Like, there are states.
She's saying in like the UK.
In the UK, because there are states here.
Well, we have something like inspection. It's a bit more rigorous. I mean, in New Jersey, the inspection now is they do an emissions test on your car and that's it. Because it used to be more, but now they fired all the people that are doing the testing, but like, what is it, Florida? You don't even have to have insurance, so you can just drive a piece of garbage.
Yeah, that's a lot of southern states. You don't need insurance. And in Florida, you only need insurance on a motorcycle if you're not going to wear a helmet.
And there's no
Really?
There's no inspection stickers in Florida either. Like, you just literally, like, if you get pulled over, they run your plates, and that's when they know if you have an inspection or not.
Can you imagine if someone in Florida with no insurance hits a Jewish lawyer from New York?
Yeah,
the guy wouldn't know what to do. He'd be like, "There's no laws here." Like,
yeah, but he's suing them for like every trailer they own.
Everything that didn't get flown away in a hurricane.
Right, exactly. See, that's another weird thing about America. In England, we build houses out of brick still. So if a tornado comes through England. I remember we had one in like 87 when I was like a teenager. The only thing that blew away was our garden shed. Every other house didn't. But in this country, you look out the window and your house is gone.
Oh yeah, roofs flying by. So wait, how long? When did you immigrate here?
94. 94.
So how old were you?
I didn't know when I was legal.
I know you're an illegal alien. We're not going to get into that, Paul.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not going to break that. We're not going to bring that up right now. But
when I came across the border, the border patrols just waved me through. They stopped all the Mexicans, but they let the white guy through.
They're like, he's on his way back.
I remember one time I came back from Tijuana, and I was with 3 Americans, and they just walked through immigration and go, American citizen, American citizen. And I'm just sitting there going, should I just say American citizen and not have to deal with passports now? Anyone who looks like a bodybuilding white guy, they don't even look at immigration in Mexico, from Mexico to America. No.
The dude at the thrift store the other day asked me if I was over 55, and I was like, I said no, and I'm like, fuck, I should have said yes. I could be getting the fucking senior discount every time.
You get 15%, That's because you dye your hair gray. That's what you expect.
That's not dyed, my friend. I've had fucking gray hair since I was 25 years old.
Yeah, well then maybe you should dye it. I don't know.
How did you stay married for 24 years, Paul? Let's keep the
focus
easy.
On you. I stay in this room and I haven't left here since 1999.
You don't do podcasts next to each other. That's the golden rule.
We have in the past, and it gets pretty rough. It's definitely not the chemistry that you two are showing us right now. It's more like divorce court,
Aw.
Oh, it could go there too. I mean, if the audio didn't work, that would have been.
Yeah, you would see. I melt down pretty quickly. I don't do well.
Well, we did an episode where all of a sudden, like 25 minutes in, we started talking about who she cheated with one time, and then it just.
Oh, God.
God.
It was like 2.5 hours of a horrific marital fight.
No, yeah, you cannot.
It was
on recording.
#1 video on YouTube.
Oh no.
Oh, people love to watch a good fight.
Oh yeah, I mean they want to know. It's like watching it's like a train wreck. Like you can't look away. And like how many times did people watch fucking Chris Brown punch fucking?
That was on video? I thought that was just pictures.
I'm sorry. Who was in the elevator?
Oh, that was that football player. I don't know.
I thought it was fucking the one who's married to Beyonce. Remember, and his sister or something.
No, I don't remember who the fuck that was, but I remember watching the footage a lot.
It was a professional football player.
Your racism is standing out.
I know, really bad. That's why I'm gonna just stop talking.
It look that way.
I know I wasn't gonna say it, Paul, but thanks for fucking bringing it up. I wasn't gonna let the audience fucking know. They don't all.
They already know.
They
already said it.
But you just named 45 possible people.
I'm like, was it Steph Curry? Who was that? Was it fucking LeBron? Who was that? I don't remember.
White guy, you would have known right away which one it was.
I know, like, white comedians on fucking Long Island's name better. No, I'm sorry. I'm not a horrible fucking racist person, guys.
We just don't really follow sports. It's like you got a half-ass story that you brought up.
Honestly, yeah, I really just should not have referenced a fucking current event that is not current, that I don't know the fucking information behind at all.
I'm shocked you remembered it was in an elevator.
I'm like, remember that really violent thing that happened that I watched a video of several times?
I still want to know what happened to the girl on the wall behind you, you know what I mean? So
everyone takes shots at her. It's not fair. She just sits there, you know? Yeah, I mean, she didn't even ask for anything.
Where'd we even get that?
I got that at a thrift store, but it was hanging with a price on it. It was $9.99.
The big question is who donated that?
Yeah. So,
and why didn't they just use it to put shirts on?
Yeah, why wasn't it just a display at the Goodwill?
Maybe it was. Maybe you just stole it and it was really just like
No, it had the marker fucking price tag on there. I was like, I'm going to do art with this.
I guess everything
didn't have like a shirt on it that said $2.
Dude, half my shit is garbage. That's the way. It's the only way to make my house look different than everybody else's is for it to be a giant trash heap, you know?
I've seen hoarders.
I know you can't see what's behind the camera.
I was gonna say, is this piece where the camera is like the only clean part of the house?
Yeah, like seriously, we just like this little corner right here.
It's tunnels. It's actually newspapers, even though no one's seen a newspaper
I remember in like a year after I came here, my friend took me to one of his friend's house in Rahway, New Jersey, which is where the big prison is, and we walked in there and they had newspapers piled like this high, and there was like little thin corridors between it. And I'm like, is this really how American people live?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, strong attachment to things. So that's an American thing? That's not, you guys just, use shit and get rid of it?
Old people in England, in their old houses, it's nearly all like antique-y, ornamental bullshit, you know? I've never been to a house where there's like, you know, every newspaper since 1982.
All right, anything laying around's worth something.
Well, to them.
Yeah, and specifically chosen.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't know. I got
this in Portugal in 1927.
Oh, it's like a spoon collection or something?
Cups with like fucking the royal wedding on the side of them. You know, all kinds of utter shit.
Now, do you guys have like pictures of the Queen and stuff? Do people do that in
their house? A lot of old people, especially, they do. You know, they're very patriotic, you know. There's a lot of people, you know, especially older people, you'll see a fucking portrait on the wall of the Queen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother kept a picture of Ronald Reagan up for years, so, like, I can't really say anything about that, like.
But did she put it up when he was the actor?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it was that legislation.
Yeah.
She just loved it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you do see a lot of patriotic stuff, you know. Like, you know, you see it on TV, like when the weddings happen, you know, the whole fucking country's out there, you know.
Yeah. I'm like, what's Biden's wife's name? Like, well.
Yeah. I don't see the yeah.
But, did you see him take a tumble today? Even though we're not going to.
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
Dude, it's fucking hilarious.
I'm sure I'm going to see 9 billion memes on Facebook.
But he does do a little salute when he gets to the top.
Yeah, it was. Definitely entertaining.
Definitely worth watching a bunch of times.
Yeah, we definitely watched it a few times, but
not as many times as I watched that guy punch his girlfriend in the face.
Oh man.
But definitely.
Wait, so you saw the Biden video twice, but the guy punched in the face 400 times, but you can't...
I watched the Biden video like 80 times. Peter Wolfinger's got it clipped down with the life alert clip on the end of it. It's hilarious.
Or the background music put over it or
something.
I'll
fucking share that over the show after the show, but it was great. I like real human things. Are you afraid of heights?
No, I skydive. Do you ever skydive?
No, skydiving. My dad told me...
Skydiving is amazing. You shit yourself, but once you're out of the plane, it's so weird. The ground is so far away, it doesn't freak you out. It's so bizarre because you think, I'm jumping out of the plane, I'm going to hit the ground in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you got so much time.
5 minutes. Yeah, you're so far up, it doesn't register in your head that you're heading towards the ground.
Wow.
The first thing that you notice, because when the parachute opens, it slows the fall very, very a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the person who's like, sometimes you have another person jump next to you and they make a video for you, you know the whole deal.
Yeah.
So when your parachute opens, if there hasn't opened already, you see them plummet past you. That's how fast you were going until the parachute opened, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's when you feel the speed.
Yeah.
It's like when you're sitting stopped and the other train takes off, but like you're still moving.
Right. From some of those rides where they have the crazy 0 to 120 in like 2 seconds,
Yeah, I love all that kind of shit. Anything harnessed in. You won't jump out of plane with me though. Not yet.
Maybe
we don't want to know what you guys do in the bedroom with your harnesses. Just saying.
Oh my lord.
Well, maybe we do.
Oh my lord, you guys you're horrible. So you said you're no filter, Paul, just for plausible deniability.
Yeah, pretty much. I try. You know how it is when you get it. I mean, you guys probably aren't as, I don't know, in trouble possibilities as me.
We try to avoid it.
But every time I get a new job, I get a list of all the people there, and I just block every one of them on Facebook. So I got this new job, and I was 2 days in. You know how they on corporate jobs they give you the little speech and they make you sit and read the book and all that other shit. The first day I was in the office, some dude walks up to me and says, "Hey, do you still hang O&A?" The first day, and I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Outed right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Because they're like, welcome, No Filter Paul, to our new
HR department.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll never leave this office.
One kid left like a year ago, and he sent one of the very tasteful videos I did of YouTube around my whole office the day he left. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. That's YouTube views. Who cares what you do?
Yeah, and honestly, they know at my job that I'm a comedian, and it's just enough. I think that it's I guess it's plausible deniability because I am dressed up and acting happy, and more. It's a show. It's definitely a show. It's not your normal energy.
I'm more worried about the old stuff because everybody's toned it down somewhat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the stupid PC culture. Like I had to delete half the episodes of my podcast because I don't need to get fucking canceled at my job. Because when I was on O&A, in 2005, 2006, some of the stuff they used to do and say.
Yeah. That's no limits, no holds bar. That's part of the reason people listen to it.
Right, and then just recently the Paris Hilton video popped up. And Paris Hilton started crying about how she was mistreated by O&A and Norton.
Wait a minute. What was the video of her doing?
She did an interview in the studio, and she gave them a list of rules, like you couldn't talk about anything. only talk about whatever the fucking Simple Life or whatever the fuck it was she was doing. Yeah, that's all you could talk about. And in 2 seconds in, Norton's asking her, hey, so what happened in that porn video? So she didn't talk. She didn't want to talk about nothing. So they just made fun of her. And then it was forgotten about, and then when this whole thing, with she got mistreated by Letterman. That video popped up recently, and a bunch of different. I mean, there was a Drew Barrymore. I don't remember, but there was a bunch of them came up. Women get mistreated. It was 15 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paris Hilton's been out of the haven't even heard that name in 10 years. Like
that's why she did. That's why it got out.
Yeah, she's like, here's some scum. Don't tell anybody about. Like, guys, seriously, I have something. Don't tell anybody. Seriously. And then just like photo dump of like some bad shit she did.
Yeah, and then tomorrow there's gonna be a new CD out, or
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be like, come together. Yeah, there's a new makeup line she's just dropping. I'm sure.
It's actually a scent.
Yeah, like the weekend, that whole face thing with the Super Bowl, how the weekend that was not actually how that was a ruse, just to get people to talk about who he was. And I mean, I was talking about him.
No, it's true.
Then it worked perfectly, right?
Yeah,
it worked exactly how he wanted it to work.
And I really try to watch what I consume. Like, I really try not to watch fucking anything. Like, I really try to stay uninformed. And that shit got into my ear hole.
Well, then people, just random guy on a construction site, random guys on my crew were like, look at this guy's face. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are we talking? Like, and then they showed it to me and I was like, holy crap. Like,
yeah, this is what we're talking about.
But, it definitely worked. Like I said, like the last people in the world you'd think to pull it out. Like,
they've got some really clever PR people that know exactly how to put that shit together.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Spread it across the internet.
Yeah, total orchestrated. And we were watching, what was that fucking show that you pulled up, that cartoon, that kid show? It wasn't a cartoon.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You pulled up.
Yeah, you narrowed it down to like 5 billion shows.
I said the big comfy couch, and then you pulled up some Dust Bunny.
I don't remember.
The Unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
The Unfortunate Adventures of whatever the hell it is.
It was like a bunny rabbit stuffed animal that was with like a family.
Yeah, it was like an elf.
It wasn't a very good show.
But the clip that he pulled up was like this was an old show at 80s or whatever, and the thing's saying, oh yeah, celebrities just go to rehab just to like redo their to re-up their celebrityhood. Like, come on, they cry about getting sober and then they fucking it re-ups their game. Like, don't you know?
Do you remember when they had that celebrity rehab with Dr. Drew?
Oh yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Yeah. But half the people on there were just on there because no one had heard of them in 10 years.
Exactly. It's like I'm still here, guys. I'm still a mess. Like, come on.
They tried to pick up a drug addiction so they could actually be relevant. Like,
fucking Gary Busey just went all in, didn't he, on that fucking shit?
Gary Busey.
Rest in power.
And then in the middle of it, he brought out that book, Buseyisms. Did you ever see that book?
No.
It was all I wish I could remember an example. I might have to look it up on my phone. But it was like normal like words, but he made them into acronyms that like made no fucking sense at all, and that was the book.
Oh, that's awesome though.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Because the funniest thing is Mandy's co-host is her boyfriend has Bonnieisms.
Yeah, it's like a ebonics, like just times she's like fucked up adages, like she messes up like a common old phrase and she'll just.
Oh, like completely backwards.
Like she said like they put one and one together.
Okay, so here's one: laugh, letting an unfiltered giggle happen.
What? Oh man!
So here's another one. Play. Please laugh at yourself.
Oh man! So he has a whole book of these.
Yes, he has a book called. I don't know if you can see it. Where is it? The screen's.
No, you know what?
It's called Buseyisms by Gary Busey.
When you pulled it up, it turns into the London background. It turns into the London Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. So all right, so you're a bit of a daredevil, and you're a grandpa. How many grandkids do you have? I have
2, a girl and a boy, and I have another boy on the way.
All right, and how old are they?
Oh, that's a great question. What is it?
11?
The girl, I can never remember the year.
Come on. Paul, like this.
I want to say
like
9, 3, and not born yet.
All right.
Okay.
All right. This is March 19th, 2021, kids. So when you guys are watching Grandpa's old podcast, he doesn't even know your age.
Yeah.
What do you like about being a grandpa?
It makes you feel fucking old, but it's fun because, do you guys have kids?
No.
All right. So when you have kids, and they're yours, they don't fucking leave. So you have the enjoyable bit, but then you have the shitty part. But if it's not your kid, you can have the enjoyable bit and then send them the fuck home. So grandpa is much better than kid. You know.
Oh, you never have to be the heavy. You get to be superhero.
Yeah. You tell them they got to go to bed at your house. I don't care about that shit. Just sit here and we'll eat fucking Hershey's chocolate and Cadbury's and you know. Your mother can deal with your sugar high at 2 a.m.
And anytime you have to tell them to do anything, you're like, oh, your mom's told me to make you do this. Like,
Yeah, I'll get in trouble if we don't do this. Just blame her.
And anything my daughter says don't do, as soon as she leaves, I'm doing it.
Oh
you know?
yeah, seriously, come on, Grandpa's a stand-up comedian. What are you thinking?
Don't give the kid a whole family pack of Sour Patch Kids. All right, I swear I won't.
Come on, we're going to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have Sour Patch Kids in the house, but now I need some.
Yeah, right.
Now I want some. Now that you said it. Yeah. So you've been married 24 years, and you have 2 kids. How many kids?
Well, I have actually 3.
3 kids.
Two stepdaughters and 1 daughter that's mine.
Okay.
So.
And what's the ages there? What's the age difference?
34. Gonna be next month.
Okay.
And 31.
oh, that's
Gonna
us.
be. Yep. And then my daughter is 24.
Okay.
Well, she's gonna be in August. 24.
There you go. There you go. Very cool. What is your favorite? Who's your favorite kid?
Oh yeah, you can't say that. Any of the ones that don't live with me.
That's a great answer, though.
Yeah.
Which one gives you the least trouble, Paul?
The ones that don't live with them.
The one who has the daughter who is here so rarely, I can't remember how old she is.
Okay. There you go. There you go. She's so independent.
Well, she's been married and now she's not, and and then the middle one's a therapist with a master's and all this crazy shit. They live down the street, but they were never any hassle. Except for when they were like 17 and they like to climb out of a window with bottles of wine.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah. So that was,
How is it to have a shrink for a daughter? Like, do you feel like you're getting like your head examined sometimes? Like you're sitting at dinner and.
Well, I just every time my wife talks to her, I just because she'll be like, "Yeah, he's a piece of shit. You should leave him." And I'm like, it's a conflict of interest for her to give you advice, right? So you can't listen to anything she says.
Honey,
she's biased.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, because it's her daughter, and I'm a bag of shit. That provided a nice house, cars, everything you need. But I'm still a piece of shit. I mean, hey, let me ask you. You guys both work, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And you both contribute to the bills, I would hope.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I like how she says, "Oh yeah. He pays everything. I just pay for cable." Yeah. Okay.
We don't have cable.
Yeah,
We
that's why.
Don't have cable. No, and I contribute. He's got all the passwords. He's got all my money.
Yeah.
Well, apart from that one account he doesn't know about, but that's another story.
No, he's in charge of the whole thing, dude. The whole kit and caboodle. I got $70 cash in my wallet.
Well, let me tell you the big question that always starts a fight in my house. If he pays a lot of the bills, let's just say, do you think you should say thank you to him every month, pretty much?
Well, we say, I usually say thank you. It's like saying,
No,
it's like making
making
dinner though.
See, I don't get that thank you in my house, but then when they say I'm going out to get a cup of tea for you and a coffee for me, I have to say thank you for that cup of tea. But I don't have to say, she doesn't have to say thank you for the $4,400 I write in bills every month. So explain that.
Because that's your job, dude.
Well, that and I feel
exactly.
like
Should I get in my fucking house?
We've come to like an agreement around our household with the thank yous, though. Like sometimes it's just not gonna happen, and like.
And also just don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to. Like the girl that I work with, she said she doesn't like when her boyfriend says that dinner is just like fine or okay. She's like, that's offensive. So she's like, she started asking him, if I cook this exactly the same way, would you want it?
So she wants it's fucking awful or it's really great. She doesn't want the middle.
Or like. This Glen always gave me feedback, and that's what's but that's how I get her. I get better, and you know what? My pasta's a little. I like it a little more mouchade. A little
Yeah, but
softer, but
you know, you have a nice romantic dinner, you drink some beer or wine or whatever, and you know, and it's going to be a good night, if you know what I'm saying. He's not going to turn around, you know, when he's on a dead cert and say this pasta tastes like the bottom of a garbage can. He's not going to say that.
No, it's gonna be
happened,
fun.
though. Yeah, if I
Well,
provoke him.
Mandy's also made some things that were inedible before, though. Like, we've definitely had some inedible meals.
And you'll notice the times he says they're inedible would be that certain time of a month where nothing goes on. So he's not risking any. He's not. You know. He's not gonna. You know. Shut up. Don't
Yeah,
say nothing.
there's nothing. I got nothing to lose. Falls through
Yeah,
the fucking wall.
Exactly.
It's more I like you said, like, I don't want to say that I like something and then have it get it again if it didn't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
not.
like, oh, this overcooked chicken is fucking delicious, honey.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it like this next time, please.
Mandy, you should make like the worst meal ever, but give it to him on the night that, you know, it's your night in. You know what I mean? And then see if, oh, this is great. Meanwhile, you know, you took it out of the back of the refrigerator from fucking 4 years ago.
Scrape the freezer burn off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did stop cooking meat at the house.
Yeah, honestly, we do a lot of vegetarian stuff.
Just because we messed it up a bunch of times, and it's like, so we're eating.
Wait, so
this,
you're vegetarians because you can't cook meat?
we don't cook. We're not vegetarians. We eat meat everywhere else. I'm just saying we don't cook it ourselves because it was not it was just turning out terribly. So we were like, we might as well make healthier stuff. Like,
and honestly, it's so cheap. And when we were like literally a little nervous for the apocalypse, we're like, we're just gonna have a bunch of beans in the house just in case.
Did you guys still work through it, or you?
Oh yeah, but luckily we both were essential.
Yeah, me too.
In
I
my
have
real life.
literally, everybody's like they're broke, but I've saved, talking about tolls back, you know, I've saved like $400 a month in gas at least, about $180 in tolls I've saved, and then, you know, Trump gave us money, so that's in the bank still. You know, I mean, I don't, car payments, I paid the cars off with the money, so I don't have that. So I mean, I'm better off financially than I've ever been. I hope this shit goes on for another 10 years.
Oh, it definitely switched some stuff up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because it gave people because so many people like just like go shopping out on Saturdays just for like just to know, oh, let's just go out and like spend time and money together. We're not even ones to
do that, but like just the amount of dinners and like
take
bars
out
and stuff like that. Like,
but did you find you were doing like DoorDash and stuff like that more because you were home? Did you ever start like doing that or not?
Yeah,
really?
a little bit, but like
in the beginning we weren't even doing delivery though, because like just in case it was as fucking scary and horrible as they said, you know, we were like trying to cook at home and stuff. And I was working remote and he was working out in school, so we were trying to like limit our exposure in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, that and we just bought the house.
I hate ramen noodles. I'm not eating that shit. You know what I mean?
Could fuck a ramen noodle up, dude. You gotta put some eggs in there and some vegetables and some soy sauce. You kidding me?
Yeah, you gotta doctor it up. We went to Stony Brook, so we went to school with some Asians and they showed us how to make the ramen's just the soup base. Only Americans just eat the noodles. Like.
Yeah.
I took my wife to a really high-end vegetarian thing, and I'm not eating pasta. I don't eat pasta at all. Tofu's fucking horrible. And all it is, pasta and tofu, it's the stuff you put on it that makes the taste, right? It's not you know what I mean? It's all about the sauce. So I'll just put the sauce on a piece of chicken. I don't need, you know, marinara sauce on some pasta. I need put it on some chicken with some cheese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's where people go wrong. They're like, "Oh, I'm not going to eat meat," and then they just eat like bread. It's like, that's not. Well, you need to be eating like vegetables, and like you still need a protein. Like
at that vegetarian restaurant, they had vegetarian buffalo wings on the menu, and I'm like, everything else looks horrible. Okay, let's give this a go. And it wasn't, you know, like the fake looking chicken they sell at like the fucking food store now, you know, like fake burgers and all that, they kind of look like it. It was a pyramid shaped piece of tofu in barbecues and buffalo sauce. And I'm like, wow, they put no effort in here and this thing is $18.
Yeah, see, that's we won't.
Doesn't even have wings on it.
We won't
No, it
really
doesn't
eat
even-
out vegetarian, like unless it's like
Yeah.
Indian food or like something where it's like they just have vegetarian
Yeah,
options.
and they
but
make
like,
it better than us. But
there's
yeah.
If I
very
go to an Indian
few-
place, I'm getting lamb curry, like really spicy, because growing up in England, you're around Indian food forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're used to getting vindaloo. That if you haven't had it before, you'll
it's
shit a
amazing.
brick from that stuff. Let me tell you. But yeah, I love Indian food. I'm a spice king.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay,
Yeah, no, it's
yeah.
that's, and they can really you don't even miss the meat in a lot of the Indian stuff because they spice it all so well.
But you don't know what meat it is, really, do you? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm like, what's this one? It's like, I don't know, the orange
Oh,
one.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, hand me that one. Like, just order family style.
Why is there a dog collar in this plate of pasta?
Yeah, I really don't care. And honestly, so many people make a big fucking deal about that. They're like, oh, you're vegetarian because you care about animals. I'm like, no. I would
I'm
eat a
vegetarian.
fucking cat if you gave it to me. I would eat your cat, Paul. Like, seriously.
You should. If you worded that differently, it would have been really fucked up. But
I would eat your pussy, Paul.
you should go to like a vegetarian like meetup or some shit and explain to them why you're a vegetarian. Say, look, I went through like 20 fucking chickens that were alive, and I tried to cook them, and I fucked them up, and I just threw them away. So,
Yeah, and to try to get to heaven, I'm not going to cook chicken anymore.
I had to buy 3 extra chickens because I suck at cutting them up. And one of them walked off. It had one leg, and fucking, so I was gone, and I just went off.
Danny literally, my friend, we literally ruined chicken last night and had to go buy more. She's on HelloFresh, so she had like the HelloFresh fucking shit, but she didn't defrost it on time, so we used the microwave, and she was like, God damn it, like cooked the chicken a little bit because they're like just the perfect
the
little
defrost,
breast
yeah.
for HelloFresh. She started crying. I was like, I love you so much, dude. She's like, we gotta go to the supermarket and like replace it. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like,
Isn't that shit like expensive compared to making it yourself?
well, she lives alone, so as one person, it makes sense. And like, honestly, she like comes over at my house at like once a week, and it's like, yo, I have too much food. Like, let me feed you. So it works out.
You should tell her to come over and make you chicken.
She does.
She honestly, for the first time,
there she is. Look at she
Danny, we're talking about chicken that we made last night and how you're adorable. Freaking getting all upset that it was ruined because she was like, I literally went to culinary school and watched a video on how to give people salmonella. She's like, and we just did like 4 of the things. Like, she's like, I love you.
That's how you really piss off someone that went to culinary school. You're like, hey, where'd you go? I went to YouTube. You know?
No, she's like, seriously, like, it's just so fucked up. Like, and honestly, we had the most delicious dinner after we went to the supermarket and got our replacement chicken. Yeah, nothing but fucking fun, dude. You gotta eat. You gotta eat.
That's some funny. That's almost a bit there about the like abusing chickens is why how we ended up.
Yeah, like you say, yeah. You know, you fucking try to cut one leg off and they escape. You know what I mean? You're putting all these fucking crippled fucking animals back into the world because you haven't figured out how to carve one yet.
I hack half its head off and it runs away.
What food is like the last food you'd ever eat? For me, it's pasta, definitely. But
pasta?
You know, if you were stuck in the house and you had nothing left, what would be that one food that would be the last thing left in the refrigerator?
Oh, You know, there's always, like, vegetables, like canned vegetables. And there's always probably canned fruit.
See, I grew up on, like, canned carrots and canned beans, but not baked beans, like green beans in a can.
Yeah.
Oh, and eating them
French
just...
I like them because they're super soft.
Yeah,
you know, like in England when we make a sprout, like a Brussels sprout, it's soft, right? But in America, it's like you're like, what the fuck is this? I like soft, you know?
Yeah.
You don't like crunch?
Yeah, no, I'm complete opposite with vegetables. I like it to have like
like
you said, like a spring to it, like a crisp to it.
I was gonna do the world's oldest joke about, you know, why don't you eat your vegetables? Because what do you do with a wheelchair? But you know.
I had never heard that though.
Oh really?
No.
Yeah, I'm not claiming fame to that one, but you know.
A good street joke's always good.
Yeah.
Well, what is the worst job you ever had?
That's a good question. I can't think of any. I'm trying to think when I was a kid if I had something. Washing the dishes in the back of a cafe when I was like 15, and they fucking work you to the bone for like $2 an hour. You know, even at this job, there was a couple of people that worked there that just treated you like shit, and that you like, you like got to the point where you're like, I'm making good money, but I just don't want to go to work today because these people are assholes. But luckily, they've all got fired or left, so right now, it's great. I don't think I've had a really. If I had a shit job, I would probably quit right away.
Well, I mean, a lot of times
what
people.
jobs have you had that you like suffered because you didn't have a choice for a while, at least?
Well, we had gotten this question going because we had literally have both shoveled shit at some point in our lives.
Yeah,
like literally, I shoveled I shoveled horse shit to go to horse camp, right? Like it's like just fucking he shovels shit at a fair.
That was my first
it's funny
job.
because I grew up on an island just off the coast of England, and it's the middle of the island is all farms, and then around the edge is all hotels for like tourists, and it's all it's all farms, and we used to go to farms on like school trips. And I couldn't even stand the smell then. There's no fucking way I'm shoveling cow shit for like a week. It's not gonna happen.
So
in the summertime.
So your first job was in the cafeteria, or what was your first job?
I'm trying I had a paper route like everybody else did,
Okay. That's kind of cool.
I worked in an electronics shop, and then I ran a video store for a long time.
Oh,
and then I worked for a cable TV company, and then I worked for a computer repair company, and then I moved to America.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the worst job, I guess, when I first came here, everybody's doing the little side jobs, to make a little bit of money. Raking leaves just pissed me off. That was, I'd go to some old guy's house and we'd rake the leaves just for, $20. I'm like, this is bullshit.
I think you have something against landscapers, Paul.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I guess I take my
expertise so I don't look like one of them, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh my God! Real quick, we've got the Colonel tuning in. Taz, Bry Guy, Brian Prince, Bonnie Scalisi.
No,
my
Brian,
work
I work for the Duchess Fairgrounds, not Triple H.
Taz, the residential artist. Danny cried. She really did cry over the chicken. Robin DeVito, who I love and adore. It's everybody. It's all the best people in town are watching the show with us tonight. I ask everybody, what's on your bucket list?
Bungee jumping.
Ooh. Okay. You're trying to get your head hit into a fucking...
Yeah, well, they're supposed to measure it so that doesn't happen.
Supposed to.
Let someone else go first.
You're going to watch them measure that?
Well, but everybody, they adjust the rope for everybody. You know what I mean? If they do it properly, they adjust it. There's an adjustment. They don't just tie the fat guy and the little guy to the same exact rope. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good.
This is why you can't cook fucking chicken, because you're just putting it on the same temperature for the same amount of time. There's a little chicken, you burn the shit out of it.
Yeah.
There's a big chicken, it doesn't cook. See?
Okay, so this kind of physics goes into bungee jumping as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. What was your first big purchase?
A VCR.
Ooh. And what were your first films for that VCR? VHSs for that VCR?
Risky Business and National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, man,
nice. Classic.
Yeah. Well, they weren't classics at the time, you know what I'm saying? This was like 1984.
Oh,
yeah, and how much was that VCR? It was probably ridiculous.
Oh my God. If I go into dollars, it's at least $500.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In the 80s, it's...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I paid $8 a week on my paper route for that. I got it out of like the English equivalent of like the Sears catalog. And they had those payment plans, right? Where it's like $3 a week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My parents got me the VCR, and I had to pay them the $4 or $5 a week for the VCR for like 5 fucking years, you know?
God bless them.
Yeah.
They were teaching you the value of $1.
Well, there was that, but they were also very, very not technically inclined. So like a VCR was like, because they had a thing in England called the video nasty thing, which is where when videos first came out, you'd see all these horror movies like Last House on the Left and all this other stuff, and all the do-good in old people would like have a heart attack and get people arrested for having these movies. So my parents are like, "Oh, you're not getting a VCR in this house. You're gonna bring all this crazy shit in, you know."
It's like the internet now, a computer.
Yeah. My mom said it was just one of those phones where you tap the letters out. My wife's like, get her a smartphone, and I'm like, what if she clicks a button and Animal Farm comes up? And I don't mean the kids movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that and it's just
one
gonna be,
cup, you know.
you're just gonna be teaching her how to use the freaking thing too, and
Well, she's in the 80s, so that's not, that's not happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my mom, when we first got the internet, my little brother was just born, and she typed butt cream into Google,
Jesus.
looking for diaper rash cream, and
Butt
she's
cream.
a very proper lady, and
Right.
she saw some things that she turned
Unforgivable.
she turned the computer off. She was she was disturbed by it, to say the least. And
My
then made
mom
me,
was
the
so-
7-year-old, fix it.
My mom was so prim and proper. She's short and she looks a bit like the Queen. She's got that kind of look.
Okay.
And if I said "damn" in the house, my dad would punch me. Right. It was funny because he worked in a factory, and I didn't know that outside of the house he talked like me.
Yeah,
But in the house, it's like, you can't curse or anything. You can't do anything bad. And then one day I went to the factory with him when I was like 15, and someone dropped something, and he's like, "Fucking hell!" And I'm just like,
huh? It's like the first time I heard my grandmother curse, and it wasn't even a real curse. She used a synonym, and I remember being like, "Oh my god!"
She said,
well,
"Damn."
I remember the first time I heard one of my family members say something racist. I remember that to this day. There was a boxing match on, and I'm not going to word it exactly that they worded it. It was basically like, the white guy needs to hit the black guy. That's pretty much what was said, but not that nicely.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Probably a little less racist than how I sounded earlier.
Yeah.
What was your MO in high school?
Oh, total nerd.
Okay.
Total geek, nerd. Used to get... The only reason I really didn't get my ass kicked in school was I was the class clown, and I would rip the teachers up and get thrown out of class on a daily basis. Literally every day for 3/4 of the year, I'd be in the hallway outside the room because the teacher would try and be funny, and I just rip the shit out of him. But that literally saved me from getting my ass beat by the
that
time.
definitely gained you some credit with the bullies, because
Yeah.
they probably couldn't keep up with the teacher like that.
They pick on the weakling. So if you can pick on the teacher, you got control of the room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was the guy because I knew that was the one thing.
Yeah, and they roast themselves. They're such an easy play. If you when I was telling my little brother-in-law when he was first going to college, I was like, dude, syllabus week is the most important week, because you go the first week and they literally hand you a piece of paper on what they want from you, and they straight up say, I'm a this kind of guy. I like this. I do this. Don't do that. Fucking, they literally show their cards.
Right.
People don't realize how people are so bad at showing their cards.
My favorite one was we were in I think it was history class, and the teacher was wearing these glasses, and I realized there was no glass in the glasses. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because they didn't even make an effort and put plain glass. It turned out it was a hearing aid.
Oh no!
There was a hearing aid in the fucking arm of the glasses. So I actually managed to get the whole class to do this.
Oh my lord!
And he kept going outside and fucking with these glasses, thinking they were, fucking funny as hell.
Oh,
He never figured it out. We did it for the whole class, like the whole fucking 45 minutes. We just fucking hummed, and he was just like, I gotta get new batteries for these things.
Did he ever figure it out, or did it just kind of?
No, but if he did, he never said anything.
You are going to hell for that.
But think about it. If you get fake glasses for hearing aids, you at least put a piece of glass in so no one notices. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, get a glare on it.
Seriously, so I don't think you're just a hipster that hasn't even existed yet.
We had a chemistry teacher that we made cry. I wish I could remember how we did it, but we made him cry. I think it was a sub teacher, because in England, it's the same in America, right? The sub teachers, you can just bully them.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna see them again.
Yeah.
Or you might see him in
speed date.
Spanish next week,
Yeah, no, you totally abuse them. I even would get in trouble by the subs, and I was a good kid.
I remember we found out the cookery woman, the woman teacher that did cookery was fucking one of the gym teachers, but his wife was a science teacher in the same school, and it was just so much fun fucking ripping it. And it's like it even took him a while to figure out we weren't joking.
Oh man, that's
Like, no,
even
he is
worse.
seriously
Though.
fucking her in the back of the science class. No, he's not. I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
Oh my
Yeah, maybe you
Lord.
should fact check that one.
Yeah.
What was your favorite like subject in school? Where you
Oh,
could...
computers.
Okay, because that was your thing.
Yeah.
You are so
Yeah.
since
Well,
you're...
it was back. I don't know how old you guys are, but back, computers were like a geeky thing, right? No one. It's not like now that everyone has a computer. There was like 10 people. I knew more about computers than every teacher I ever had. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. But what are you gonna do?
So
What it makes me laugh because I used to get shit because I was the nerdy kid, like I said. But then I go back to where I grew up, and I see the kids I was in class with that used to give me shit, collecting fucking shopping carts outside of a fucking food store, and I'm like, wow, that nerdy shit worked out for me.
I know. You'll meet them all again in the long journey to the middle.
Yeah, well, what's funny is Facebook, right? You for a long time when I was growing up, or when I was an adult, I'm like, I'm never gonna see those people again. Fuck them, And then Facebook comes up, and now you're seeing all these people from 25 years ago, and you're getting like one person going, "Hey, I'm sorry I bullied you," and I'm like, "Well, make yourself feel better. You're a dick." Block.
Yeah, good luck on the other 12 steps of your sobriety fucking program.
I mean, how many people, high school reunion, it doesn't matter because you saw the guy yesterday on Facebook doing his dinner, right? So it's not like it's, you're not seeing someone you haven't seen for 25 years because everybody's on Facebook or Instagram,
Yeah, I know, and I actually didn't have a Facebook until I became a comedian, so I like re-linked up with a bunch of people, which was good. But yeah, some people out of the woodwork, it's like, oh god, geez, and like I like have these people because like I friended literally everybody in my high school because they'll just watch me to be a hater, They'll just fucking, I don't care where the views are coming from.
The guy that shows up at the reunion and like, yeah, I invented the post-it. You remember that? I'm driving a Porsche and you're fucking collecting shopping carts. You loser.
Seriously, I didn't even get invited to the class reunion.
I didn't even want to go because half the kids there were just like total assholes to me. But then when I went there, it's like, wow, you're living in America, you're successful. And everyone except one, it was like we were all friends and no one gave a shit about what happened at school,
Right, because you all grow up. It's like, all right, our brains...
There's always one jerk off that like, oh, you were such a dick in high school. And I'm like, dude, that was 35 years ago.
Yeah, get over it.
Yeah.
Haven't people been bigger dicks to you since then?
Yeah, well, 7 million listeners on a radio show fucking cussing me out. So yeah, I got a tough skin from being bullied as a kid.
Yeah, I think that's part of you need to have a thick skin to get up there to be a comic. Absolutely,
yeah.
It's a requirement.
I wish I'd done it sooner because when I was doing O&A, Norton said to me that you're funny, you should try stand up, and this was like 2004. And I just never did it. And then like 3 years ago, I said, "Oh fuck it, I'm going to try it." I should, I'm having so much fun. These Zoom shows are like, ugh. But until the pandemic, I was having so much fun. I mean, how many hobbies do you have where you're going to drive from fucking Southern Jersey to Bumblefuck, Long Island for a 6-minute spot at a comedy show? You know what I mean? People are like,
I was going to give you an hour, Paul. Don't be a fucking jerk off.
I'll remember that when everything opens up. You're going to be like, Paul who? I understand.
I fucking remembered you. I fucking looked you up. I said,
I want to know who canceled so that you got me instead.
No, I said, who's that funny guy? The funny talker. No, I had to call you.
Okay. So I sound like a retard, but
the funny talker comment is that's because in rugby, you're allowed to have a certain amount of players that are not from your country.
Someone in your feed, Brian just wrote, "Don't respect the shopping cart collectors."
Oh yeah,
Brian was a shopping cart collector.
Yeah, those carts need to get wrangled somehow, boy. And yeah. I respect the shopping cart wrangler.
That kind of job. I mean, I sound like a piece of shit, but that kind of job is like a high school kid job.
Yeah, Yeah, no,
You know,
Brian did it in high school.
I do get, you'll get some of the special people that's just what they do, and that's what, that's all they can do. That's fine, but a regular person, get off your ass and get a fucking proper job,
Yeah, get a little something more respectable there. Although I hear Costco's got really good benefits.
Yeah, right. I'm collecting shopping carts so I can get my teeth fixed. Yeah.
Dude, because didn't your roommate fucking quit when he was like,
That was Sam's Club, yeah. My roommate in college quit Sam's Club because they made him wrangle carts one day.
In the rain.
Oh wow.
Ah.
My daughter's boyfriend worked at Wawa, and he's, you have Wawa out there in Long Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he worked at Wawa, and he's telling me, yeah, you get $2 extra an hour if you get the gas, and they have stock options and all this shit. And I'm like, well, how much stock options do you get? And he gave me the percentage, and I figured out it was like $1 a week in stock options. And I'm like, And do you remember Stalker Patty from O&A? Did you ever listen to that? There was a older lady she used to follow the show around, so they called her the name Stalker Patty.
Okay.
She worked in Starbucks all around New York City, like in Times Square. She worked for years and years, and she used to come in and go, yeah, I have $19 in my 401k, and I have 2.75 minutes of fucking vacation time, and I'm just like, I'm so happy that I don't have to deal with that. I mean, don't you feel bad for people that to them that's like a big deal, and you're like, I feel so bad. I'd rather feel bad for them than people that do fuck all and just lazy. At least that if you go out and get a job like that versus doing nothing, I actually commend you in some way.
Oh, absolutely. And people just don't want to work, and especially now that people saw fucking stimulus checks last year and shit, they're like, oh, I don't want to work. It's like, but you're the same people bitching about socialism.
My wife made $23,000 in unemployment last year. For doing nothing.
Yeah. No, there's gonna be a lot of people that aren't gonna want to go back to work.
God bless America.
The unemployment should be less than what you make, so that you have the encouragement to go back to work. Right?
Ideally, yes. Yeah, we got a little backwards here, but Paul, give us some tags. Tell us the people where they can find you online.
All right. Well, April 3rd and May 7th, I'm going to be at the Dojo of Comedy, and that's in Morris Plains, New Jersey. Tickets at northjerseycomedy.com. Going to be on with Dave Landau. Also on the 3rd, I'm doing 2 shows the same night. The 2nd and 3rd at the Comedy Cove in Springfield, New Jersey. You can find other dates I have at nofilterpaul.com, and I'm on every social media as nofilterpaul.
You were great, Paul. We really appreciate your time tonight. Everyone was laughing. I hope to see pictures of you bungee jumping one day. And keep living, keep doing you. We really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Of course, you guys are a lot of fun.
And I'm glad we saved you the fucking tolls.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna block me because I'm gonna ask you about that hour's time you said you'd give me. So
this was it.
Yeah, this was tonight.
I love you.
Well, that's good. I can tell everybody I did an hour and didn't really bomb.
Yeah, you killed. Where? It was a Skype fucking interview with who? Some fucking no-name bitch. What? I don't know.
Don't call your husband that. I'm sure he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, and bitch is gender neutral. Someone was trying to say man and guy is not gender neutral. I was like, come on, dude. It totally is.
Yeah, because like comedian, right? Comedian and actor, now both sexes use those words.
Yeah,
right?
I know. People are getting crazy. Let's get out of here before it gets too real. We really do appreciate your time, Paul. And when you're in the same county, we're going to chill.
I don't even know what county that is, though.
Yeah, me neither. Be good.
Where do you live? Click.
We're in Suffolk County. What?
Cool.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill this. All right, guys.
Thanks,
we love you guys.
Have a nice night.
Be good. Can't even speak.